What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Lewis, and on today's video I'm going to show you what my entire arsenal looks like, what specific type of bowling balls I'm looking for each slot in the bag. So it's going to be a very in-depth guide of what I look for and like exactly what type of bowling ball I'm looking for each roll in the arsenal. But before we get into any of that, guys, please consider subscribing to the channel. We are on the way to 50,000 subscribers, and of course, I cannot get there without you. Without you guys, this channel is really nothing. So thank you for everyone who has subscribed so far, and for everyone who's going to subscribe. I really appreciate it. Down below in the description will be a link where you can order the chamois, any of the balls featured in today's video, because I'm looking at them. Every single bowling ball in this arsenal is still available. I did that for a reason, so if you guys want to order them, you can. Also, the ball spinner that the ball is sitting on, you can order it through the link in the description. All right, so the first bowling ball that we're going to take a look at is actually not the spare ball. I don't know why I put the spare ball on there. So the order that we're going to go is from the very top of the bag all the way down to the bottom of the bag. And so the first bowling ball that I'm going to look at is not necessarily the ball that's going to be the first one out of the bag, but it's going to be the strongest bowling ball out of the bag. The first ball out of the bag for me is always a benchmark type ball, but for this video, the first one that we're going to take a look at is the strongest ball in the bag, which for me is going to be this physics blackout. Now, it doesn't have to be a physics blackout, okay? I want to be very clear about that. For me, it's a physics blackout. For you, it could be a Attention Star S2, it could be a Jackal Ghost, it could be a Criterion, it could be a Hammer Pure Envy, it could be anything. Typically a stronger asymmetric ball. Now, typically you want something that's like a solid, right? This is actually a sanded pearl. But it really doesn't matter, pearl, hybrid, solid, whatever the case may be, just something that's stronger, earlier, smoother with surface. And for me, it is the physics blackout. All right, first shot here in my arsenal video with our big asymmetric ball, the physics blackout. I'm nice and warm because I warmed up in a previous video that I shot. So I'm nice and left here, gonna be creating a bunch of shape. Good representation of what the strongest ball in the bag should be doing. Yeah, really good shot. Actually, tape ripped off my finger, which typically does not happen. But yeah, that's a good representation of the strongest ball in the bag. And actually, I'm gonna cut this up anyway. But yeah, really good, strong ball. I'll throw a few more shots, and I'll throw a few shots with each of these balls, and then let me know what you guys think. So again, we'll do one more. Actually, we'll do two. I'll probably throw 3 shots with each ball. I don't want to make this video too long. So this is here the second shot with the physics blackout. I got that right. See, that is one of the big issues with the big, strong bowling balls, is that when you get them right like that, sometimes they don't recover. I wasn't trying to get it that far right. That was obviously like a really big miss. While I don't like that I threw a horrible shot, it is nice to show you guys that when you miss right with these big asymmetric balls, that a lot of times there's not a lot of recovery. So let's show you guys another good one like that first one, and then we'll show you what the next ball in the bag is. Oh, okay, 7-pin only. That would have been disgusting. So there you go. That is the biggest, strongest ball in my arsenal, the physics blackout. We're gonna show you guys what the next ball in the arsenal is. All right, so now that we took a look at the physics blackout, which is like the strong ball in the bag, the next type of ball that we are going to take a look at is actually, I have 2 of them, right? The benchmark type ball. And the reason, what I mean by 2 is I have 2 different types of benchmark balls. So the first one that we're gonna take a look at is the Hammer Effector, which you guys know is like one of my favorite bowling balls right now. And this is a stronger benchmark type ball because it is asymmetric. It is a really strong sanded cover. This is a little lane shined because in league, I prefer it with a little bit of lane shine. But this is like my favorite ball right now. One-handed, I loved it. Two-handed, I love it even more. And again, it's a stronger type of benchmark ball. Like I said, I have two benchmark balls. The next clip, I'll show you what the other one is, but it's a weaker type of benchmark bowling ball. Hammer Effect Tour, you absolutely cannot go wrong with this ball. All right, so this is my stronger benchmark ball, the Effect Tour. I'm not gonna be anywhere near as left as I was with that previous ball. So just to guess, I'm gonna move like a full arrow right and see what this looks like. Yeah, that was a pretty good guess. I think that I can stay there, but move my eyes right a little bit. And I think that's exactly what I'm gonna do here on this next shot. But overall, that was a really good representation of like a stronger benchmark type ball, stronger benchmark type motion. All right, so I'm gonna go right back to that same spot, but like I said, I'm gonna try to open up my, my angle a little bit, because that was like super high flush. Yeah, I mean, it's obvious that benchmark balls roll better on a house shot than those huge asymmetric balls. And I don't really have to show you any more, but I'll show you one more shot with the Hammer Effect Tour just because. And actually, we'll just one take this real quick since the ball came back pretty fast. And yeah, again, this is the stronger benchmark type ball. Oh, Chris is like, yes, that hurt. But yeah, that's the stronger type benchmark ball, which is for me is the Hammer Effect Tour. We'll see you here on this next one, which is gonna be a weaker, still benchmark type bowling ball. All right, so now that we looked at the Hammer Effect Tour, like I said, I have two different types of benchmark bowling balls. The other ball that we're gonna take a look at here is the Scorpion Low Flare. This is also a benchmark ball for me, but it's weaker than the Effect Tour. It's not quite as early. It definitely shapes a little bit more down lane because it is a hybrid, a little bit weaker of a layout as well. This is actually one of my favorite balls to use in league because I can keep the ball a little bit more in front of me. It's not gonna boom down lane on the fresh. And yeah, so two different types of benchmark balls. And again, this is just something that I look for. It doesn't necessarily have to be what you look for. It doesn't even have to be these exact kind of balls, right? Like instead of the Scorpion Low Flare, for you it could be like an Ion Pro, it could be like an IQ Tour Solid, it could be like a Rattler or a Rattler Big Bite. Those kind of low RG, low differential, smoother bowling balls. So yeah, Scorpion Low Flare, one of my favorites. Love this ball, very versatile. My teammate on Tuesday night, Jordan Katz, has two of them. He loves them. He's lefty, so he really doesn't count, but he loves them as well. All right, so now the next ball is a weaker benchmark type ball, which for me, like we said, is the Scorpion Low Flare. Very similar RG and differential to the Effect Tour. The big difference is that there's no asymmetry because this is a symmetrical core. So this one, I'm gonna move a little bit right off the Effect Tour. Not too much because the big difference is gonna be down lane, not so much in the front. So it's just gonna be like a two-board move. And if I have to move right again, I will. But this is the weaker one of the two. It's gonna shape the most of the two. Yeah, so I can for sure move left because it's more motion down lane. And it's kind of silly to think that I could even move right anyway. So we're gonna do that right here as soon as this ball comes back. Yeah, it was pretty silly to think that I could move right, especially with the Effect Tour 9-pinning the way it did on that last shot. So this is gonna be the same spot as the Effect Tour, but it's gonna be cleaner through the fronts and it's gonna be more responsive down lane, but still smooth in the grand scheme of things. Okay, we're gonna reset that 10-pin and strike. I think that it's a little too clean, a little too poppy for what I'm seeing right now. And actually, maybe we can just one take this. Hopefully it's not too long. All right, so sorry we cut off there.
So far between the three balls, I think the Effector is the better one of the three. I'm gonna move one left, really try to shape this one a little bit more because it's not as early, not as smooth as the last two. This is a really different type of motion. Still benchmark though. Let's make a good shot here. There we go, and then it blew or not. I mean, I'm gonna keep throwing shots until I strike. But that just goes to show you that even though it's a really good ball and it's in my arsenal and it's a good ball, you can't outbowl bad ball reaction. And that's exactly what I have with this Scorpion low flare. It's not a bad ball because I like this ball. It's just not the right ball. Right now, if I had to rank them so far, Effector number 1, Physics Blackout number 2, low flare number 3. Now, this doesn't mean that I won't go to this eventually as the lanes break down, maybe. But not a really good shot there that last one. I'll move another 2 left. There we go. Yeah, it's a little cleaner, a little bit quicker for a benchmark ball, but that's good because I want 2 different types of benchmark looks. Effector's early and smooth. This one's a little bit cleaner, a little bit poppier down lane. We'll see you now for the next ball.
All right, so I've already shown you the very top of the bag, my big asymmetric ball, the Physics Blackout. I showed you my 2 benchmark balls, the Effector and the Scorpion low flare. Now we need something for when the lanes are really starting to get toasty and we need to get left and create that shape. And more than just create the shape, we're also looking for a ball that's going to clear the fronts. And for me, it is the Road Warrior by Storm. Again, it doesn't have to be this. It could be like a Super GT. It could be the Scorpion Strike. It could be a plethora of balls that are medium-ish differentials, higher RGs that are pearl, that are polished. I just really like how clean through the fronts this Road Warrior is. And it's not like overly boomy down lane, which is actually something me and my ball driller Casey have been talking about, is that it doesn't want to like boom down lane. And because of that, I can really slow my speed down and trust that it's gonna get through the fronts, through the muck, through all that nasty stuff that's in the front part of the lane, and it's not gonna over boom when I shove it to the right. And because of that, it has been like a go-to ball for me as soon as the lanes start to break down.
All right, first shot here with the Road Warrior. We're gonna be left, not quite as left as the Physics, but we're gonna be left. And I like this ball because it's clean. Doesn't wanna hook early. You know, hopefully the lanes are nice and transitioned enough for this ball to do what I know that it does. There we go. Nice and clean through the fronts. It's poppy, but it's not like overly angular. It just does the right thing. All right, sorry that cut off. That last shot there was really good, and we're gonna try to just repeat the exact same thing because there's no adjustment that needs to be made off that shot. Literally just repeat. Oh, good shot. Might have been a little fast. All in all, it's exactly what I'm looking for out of my get left slow hook to the right ball. That was just a little fast. And the lanes may not be as transitioned as I need them to be, but all in all, really good shot.
All right, so now we have gotten through our big asymmetric ball, our 2 benchmark balls, and our cleaner, faster response ball down lane. Now we're done with all the reactive balls. Now we're going to like probably the most absolute mandatory type of bowling ball in the arsenal. You guys already know, you already love it. It is the Purple Slammer, the Purple Hammer urethane bowling ball. This is, in my opinion, the best urethane on the market. It's not particularly close, although I will say I haven't thrown the Black Hammer, so I mean, but the Purple Hammer is the Purple Hammer is the Purple Hammer is the Purple Hammer. If you need a urethane ball, get you a Purple Hammer. This is a 15-pound one. I didn't realize that there was such a big difference in differential between the 15s and the 16s, and I've had a few two-handers tell me, hey, really consider getting yourself a 16-pound one because of the extra differential. So I might do that at some point in the future. Let me know if you guys want to see that. But yeah, purple hammer is pretty mandatory when building an arsenal, especially as a two-handed player, and especially if you're bowling stuff more than just a house shot. Definitely need a urethane ball.
All right, first shot here with the purple slammer. I mean hammer, you know the difference. And this is a burnt up house shot, so it's not the ideal situation, but we can only play on what the lanes are giving us here. So let's make a good shot here to start. And if we have to move here, we will. Okay, so I'm gonna stay in that same spot, but I'm gonna tempo down. Because I think it hooked at where it needed to hook. It just didn't have enough. So we're gonna go to that same spot. And again, just keep in mind that, I mean, we're on a house shot. There's already too much friction. And they're quite a bit burnt up because this is the third video I shoot on this lane. Probably should have done this first, but hindsight is 20/20. Let's tempo down, same spot here. There we go. That's why the purple slammer is the best ball. And you know, we're just gonna, might as well one take this whole thing. Again, that was the same spot. I'm standing at about 19, trying to hit like 8-9 at the arrows, about 8-9 down lane, trying to keep it fairly straight. Wipe the oil off, hit the rosin, hit the air, take a breath, and make a really good shot here. Miss right. And that's why you don't miss right, and my tape fell off. I just need this tape to last one more shot here, guys. We're gonna reset this rack and just do the urethane as one long take. I don't like doing that because I waste a lot of air time, and I don't want to waste your time, guys. I'm very cognizant of your guys' time. I appreciate it. You could be watching anyone, but you're watching me, so I appreciate it. And that's why I don't do one take videos. So let's not miss right. Let's hit our mark and make a good last shot here with urethane. Bam, there we go. All right, so that's a urethane ball. There's only one ball left. I hope that you guys can guess what it is. We'll see you there on that one.
All right, so we're 5 balls in so far, right? We had the big asymmetric at the top of the bag. We had our 2 benchmark balls. We had our cleaner response ball. We have our urethane ball. And now you're going to see the ball that was in the intro of the video. Sorry for that. Is the spare ball. Arguably the most important ball in the arsenal because ideally we want to strike as much as possible, but if we don't strike, you better be making your spares, and the spare ball is the only way to do that. So get yourself a spare ball, get good at making spares. If you're averaging under 220, the easiest way to get that average up is make your spares. It's not really that hard. I mean, hold on, let me rephrase that. It's not that hard to get your average up if you're averaging under 220. The easiest way is make more spares. Making spares is not easy, but it's easy to get your average up. Just make more spares. All right? Make your spares, kids.
This is my first shot here at the 10 pin. Again, standing 30, looking at 15, but my eyes are way down lane. So it almost ends up being like 20 at the arrows, but I'm not looking at a specific arrow.
There it is.
There we go. So again, that's my... Bam! Actually,
all right, so there we have it. There is my full 6-ball arsenal and what I am looking for out of each of those bowling balls. And just to for a quick summary, right at the very, very top of the bag, we're looking for a very strong, smooth, asymmetric ball with surface. Doesn't necessarily have to be a solid. It could be a solid, a pearl, or a hybrid, as long as it is smooth, right? For me, physics blackout. Then I look for 2 types of benchmark balls, right? A stronger benchmark ball and a weaker, maybe more traditional type benchmark ball. For me, the two balls that I chose in that category were the Hammer Effect Tour as the stronger one, and the Scorpion Low Flare as the weaker, more traditional type benchmark ball. Then the fourth ball that you're looking for in the bag is something that's cleaner through the fronts, more responsive down lane, and this is going to be the ball that you're going to get left with, and really, or right with if you're lefty, and really shape the lanes. For me, it's the Road Warrior. Then the fifth ball in the bag is a urethane ball. If you're a two-handed player, you kind of have to have a urethane ball. But if you're not a two-handed player, maybe you can use something that's a little bit cleaner, bigger, like an asymmetric type pearl ball. But as a two-hander, this slot almost for sure has to be reserved for a urethane ball. And then the final ball is the spare ball. Now, if you do not use a spare ball, if you just flatten out your wrist and throw straight at your 10 pins, this could be just like a wild card, just any other ball that you want. But for me, because I'm not good at throwing anything straight that's not plastic, that's why for me it is a dedicated plastic spare ball.